Switch it up. Hello, my loves. We on today for another Jaguar White said, "What now, honey?" Jaguar White says, "What now?" And we're gonna also talk. Then we're gonna talk about what she said about my man Christopher Williams. The "Don't Wake Me, Man, I'm Dreaming." I'm dreaming. And then we got Nene Leakes come from Wendy Williams. Jaguar White also said Beyonce is lying about her age. So we're going to check out some of these topics today, honey. Let's get some people up in here so we can chat. First, I'm going to find the roster. I would like to find the roster. I'm going to pull up the roster for Bad Boy. You want to go through Bad Boys roster. We want to see who was on Bad Boys. And we also want to see if, hey, Aunt Will, and we also want to see if he had talented people or did not have talented people. I don't even see my phone. Oh, there you go. I see it now. So let's pull up Bad Boys roster. We're going to see who was under Bad Boys. Because she claims there is no talent. Let's see. Bad Boys artists. Okay. We got Sean Combs. This is Bad Boys roster, not Uptown. Don't get it confused. We got the Notorious Biggs. We got Mace. We got Faith. We got 112. We got Craig Mack. We got Black Rob. We got Loon. Carl Thomas. Shine. The Locks. G Deep. Mario Winans. Total. Cassie. Janelle Monáe, Cheryl Dennis. I don't know who Boys in the Hood is. We had the band, French Montana, Machine Gun Kelly, Day 26, Rick Ross, Gorilla. At one point in time, yes, he did have New Edition. Fuzz Boo, I don't know who Donnie Klein is. Y'all can help me out. Assam. Never heard of him. Chucky Thompson. Lost. Elephant Man. Wow, I didn't know he had Elephant Man. I remember B5. Stevie J. Rashid Smith. Well, we know Dawn Richards. She came from Danny the Kane. Jada Kiss came from the Lops. Jordan McCoy, Dream, Ryan L. So this is his roster. These are all the people that he worked with. Now Ryan Leslie is the producer. I don't know who Dream is. Jordan McCoy, she came and gone. Maybe that's some of the talentless people that he was talking about. But all the people that we know about that she said that, now I can understand the people who don't have talents, but they didn't blow up. The people who blew up had the talent. The people who blew up have the talent. You know, Stevie J came from out of the camp, but I don't remember Stevie J. He's a producer. Maybe they added producers with it. B5, them boys were talented. There was another one that was here and gone. But remember, this argument is not about their contracts. Their contracts is another story. We're speaking upon artists that Puffy have. Are they talented or not? So if you go back to B5, them are 5 brothers, very, very, very talented. Remember how they was done, that's another story. But did they have talent and can they sing? Yes, they could. Foxy Brown, I didn't know she was under them. Maybe it was a song, maybe it was going past by. But we already know Foxy was talented. I don't know who Donnie Klein is, but the people who we don't know about is not the people that he blew up. The people who blew up are the ones who are talented. Hello, living with the man hands. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rick Ross he had at one time. I'm only familiar with one of Rick Ross' songs. I'm not really familiar with his songs, but we already know he's talented. Everybody knows Rick Ross. Day 26, them some singing brothers. Them brothers can sing. That was a good group. It's Mayhan's. Okay, I'm sorry. Machine Gun Kelly. I'm not familiar with his song, but he's talented. He's been around there. French Montana, he's been around for a while. Diddy Dirty Money was his group. And to me, that Diddy Dirty Money, y'all can say what y'all want. I can hear that album from beginning to end. Beautiful album. Sherry Dennis. She was here today and she was gone tomorrow. Janelle Monáe. She has moved on. She has moved on. Danny the King. They was a good artist. Now, total, Mario Waynes came from a singing family. The Locks, we already know they're talented. Shine, we already know he was talented. We got to give it up to my man, Carl Thomas. That man is not talented. I don't know what to tell you. 112, if they're not talented, I don't know what to tell you. My girl, Faith Evans, if she's not talented, I don't know what to tell you. My boy Mace, he got to be talented. He wrote a lot of their stuff. My man Biggie, if he wasn't talented, I don't know what to tell you. So, like I said, my girl Jaguar, she's telling her truth. We cannot deny her truth, but that doesn't mean we cannot go back and fact check. We got to go back and fact check. When she speak upon talent, did these people, we can say, yeah, she's right. They was bubblegum people. They can't have no talent. They can't hold their own. They needed Diddy. Diddy made to put them in a position that they needed him, but that doesn't take away from none of their talent. Now we're going to go look under Uptown Records artists. Uptown Record artists. Now, this is where the confusion come in at, because Christopher Williams' name was brought up, but the time frame didn't match. Now, Andre Harrell, may he rest in peace, he was the head of Uptown Records. Which consists of Heavy D, Jodeci. Let's see. Okay, we got Heavy D, Jodeci, Father MC, Sean Combs, Christopher Williams, Mary J. Blige, Soul For Real, Eddie F, KC, which is from Jodeci. We got Monifa. We got Guy, Teddy Riley, Jace 4, Horace Grant, The Lost Boys, McGruff, Floor, Prepper, which I don't know, Factory. We got Lucas, we got Shay, we got Pete. So Christopher Williams and I'll Be Sure, where are they? Let's see this. Included I'll Be Sure, Christopher Williams, Guy, Heavy D, and the Boys, Father MC, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. Hello, Just Relax. How are you? So, when she made her comment, remember, listen to what she said. She said she heard from somebody, a person that used to work. And she said that Christopher Williams went to Puff Daddy for a deal at Bad Boys, which is incorrect. Christopher Williams was already at Uptown. Now, I don't know what happened in the Uptown doors, but it wasn't for him. If that did take place, that did not take place for him to get a record deal at Bad Boys. He had his record deal already. And she also stated that somebody told her this. You know who is this? This is Jaguar White. She's a very good artist. She was a good artist that was out in the early 90s. She is like one of the first ones that was doing like the neo soul. She was down with the Roots. She was down like with the Jill Scotts and Erykah Badu's and stuff like that. As people getting information, you have to check the timeline yourself. I mean, it's also good to know that what she's saying, that you can see what she's saying. So you got to bring yourself back. People was like, yeah, I knew. No, she didn't say yes. She never said she saw Christopher Williams go down on Puff Daddy. She said somebody told her. So she threw my man Christopher Williams. He was still sleeping. He said, don't wake him. He is dreaming. She threw my man far under the bus. This was hearsay. She could say that person went and lied. We don't know. Like I said, that's one thing we cannot say is what happened behind closed doors and who did what. But we do know that was not for Bad Boy Records. Puffy was trying to take it a whole different direction. He did not go down there on Puffy for Bad Boys. He was already at Uptown. He was already there. We got to remember, people are confusing. They keep thinking that Puff Daddy was Uptown. Puff Daddy was not Uptown. That was Andre Harrell and my man, Heavy D. They were running that. Heavy D is the one who brought in Puff Daddy. Now, we're not saying a lot of strange things. There's a lot of strange things that go on up in there. We can't dispute that one. But that doesn't take away that we have to do our own research. See, it's three sides to every story. Now, you done threw my man Christopher, what he minded his business, trying to get his life back together. Then she threw my man Tevin Campbell under the bus. These people, if all this is true, they all went through personal traumas. They went through personal traumas many moons ago. And to have these traumas brought back up because you're mad at this one, that part is not right. Hey, it could be all the truth in the world. I'm not calling her a liar. I'm just saying that you got to know everybody under the bus. That part is not right. Tevin Campbell trying to get his life together, and then you telling everybody he was out there prostituting, out there trying to make money on the streets to get money. That man was still doing tours and stuff. We don't know what trauma that boy went through. But he got thrown under the bus. And then she said how our girl Beyonce is not her real age, which we already knew. Beyonce is older than what she is. We know that. But she did like all the other women do in Hollywood, in the music business. If you can look young for your age, they drop your age. Everyone has personal traumas. They don't need to expose. That is my point. Just Relax Now. I love that name. Just Relax Now. I love it. I love that name. So everybody has had personal traumas. And like I said, people was like, oh yeah, Christopher Williams did this for Bad Boy. No, Christopher Williams did not. He did not. And when Christopher Williams, if anybody's an old school head, and they did that plug, MTV plug, and he sung that Teddy Pendergraph song, and they cut it off, and they was messing with his money. That man got mad and tore that whole entire office up. He threw a chair through the glass. He went and tore Andre. That man had a temper. That man had a temper. I don't think he was scared of no Puffy. At that point in time, that man had a temper, honey. And then after he tore that whole Uptown up, that whole office up, obviously, if Puff was the man then, what did the Puff do about it? Because Puffy wasn't the man then. Andre Harrell was. Let's get the facts straight. Let's get it straight. Why he got to go? Puffy was the man next to the man next to the man at that time. He wasn't right. No. Heavy D was right after Andre. So what he want to go down on Puffy for? when men before him, and he already got a record deal. But if that did take place, you telling us what somebody has said. Just because something is true doesn't mean the story should be exactly. Just relax now. Exactly. Here go Tevin Campbell, minding his business. She done threw him under the bus. She done threw my man Tevin Campbell under the bus. Tevin Campbell, he was a child prodigy. To me, there is, at his age, there is no vocalist that can then and can now mess with him. His range is unbelievable. They couldn't mess with his vocals then, and you cannot have. I don't care who's out now. There's nobody messing with his vocals. I don't care how much money they got, how good they are. You're not messing with Tevin Campbell vocals. Did he fall in the cracks of entertainment? Yes, he has. He has. Then she went in on Beyonce's father. And then she said what set this off was Malik B. They call him Malik. You can say Malik. They said her son passed away, which I'm sorry to say. I never want to know that feeling ever. So that's not going to be no part of the topic at all. I don't respect anyone who talks nasty about others. I lose all trust in them. Exactly. She said Malik B passed away. Listen carefully. Like I said, there's three sides to every story. And then she didn't like how he was done. She didn't like how he was done. And she felt they didn't show him the respect that he needed. And then she had to hear from somebody that he passed away. So I'm saying to myself, if you respected that man so much, how didn't you know? Why wasn't you? If they wasn't in contact with him, neither were you. You had to find out through somebody. If you was that close with him, you should have knew his family members. They should have called you first. You can't get mad that somebody got out of contact with somebody over the years, and you have too. So have you. You directing that anger at people which you done the same thing. You now waited to when he was alive. Where were you? You have come across some bad things that happened to you that took you out the game. You have been locked up. You've been going through a lot of stuff that took you out of the game. It took you away from people. So, now she feels, like I said, I'm not talking about her truth. Her truth is her truth. But it's not about, but the truth also, other people also has a truth and a way of thinking themselves. It's not just your way and that's it. You can't take hearsay that somebody worked for Puffy and they said they walked into a room and then they saw you doing something. Now, how do you know what she said? How do you know if what she said is true? How do you know? What did you do to verify her story? Then she said, Puffy said to her that if I make a man do this, they'll do anything. Well, that's not up for conversation. We don't know. Like I said, we don't know. That's Hollywood. That's the entertainment business. They all have been around. They all have been around. Now, constantly trying to bring down my girl Mary J. Was Mary J. Blige considered a mean girl back in the days? He could have been. Mary J. is a straight Capricorn. She's a straight up Capricorn. She's not, Capricorns are not built to break. And they're about their money. They're not about that friendship. You have to get in close with a Capricorn for them to be your friend. They about that business. They're about that life. They're about their status. Oh, honey, she done dog Mary out to the highest power. Where have you been? Just relax now. Where have you been? Mary is being dogged out. She done dog Mary out to the highest power. To the highest power. She said that Mary didn't know how good that she could. Mary has no talent. But you were a fan of hers, and you found out that she was a mean girl. But Mary wasn't a mean girl. Mary's about her business. That Capricorn is about her business. That Capricorn is about, you gotta remember the nature of Capricorn. The more you talk about them, the more they stand. The oldest rapper in the business who is still relevant today is what? LL Cool J. What is he? A Capricorn. They are not built to break. They will still be standing. You can't break a Cap. They are called the GOAT for a reason. They are called the GOAT for a reason. You ain't breaking Mary. You're going to make Mary. Yes, honey, the stronger they get. I just gotta throw a little astrological that's in there. Yes, my girl Jaguar, she is that Taurus. Believe me, and when them Taurus got something to say, them Taurus got something to say. That's like the Rock. You smell what the Rock is cooking? When them Tauruses they got something to say, honey, they control the throat. When they got something to say, they got something to say, honey. Believe that. But doing that against a Capricorn, no, they're not in the business for friends. They care about their status and where they at and how can they keep moving. They may not move as fast as other people, but while some people are falling, the Capricorn stays steady. So if you say that you and her was under the same company, and if Mary said, well, if you hire her, I'm leaving, and they made a choice right then and there, it wasn't Mary. Mary may have made the suggestion, is her or me. I'm not debating if that statement was made, but the choice went to who I'm going to make the most money off of. Who is the better artist? They chose Mary. That was their decision. They could have said, well, Mary got to go. You are the better artist. You need to stay. A lot of times when you're in this business, you might hear that a lot, but that shouldn't stop you. She even said how she still sold. But like I said, we don't know how Mary was back in the days, but Mary let it be known a lot of times through the times that you do interviews and the time that you do hear her songs. She let it be known, yeah, I was in bad shape. I mess with no good men. I've done drugs. I've done alcohol. I've done the coke. She let that be known. And then when she did get what Ken do, he told her, no, honey, you can't be married to me and do none of that. And now, everybody else in the chat, how's everybody doing? Hi, Calvin. How you doing, bro? You know, so you're not breaking that, Capricorn. Keep trying. Keep trying. Mary's gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger. Mary doesn't even have to, she doesn't have to reply. She's gonna let her work show for her. Now, We're gonna get down to Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy, we have all heard some strange things. We knew about all the new people, but we didn't know about the old people. I got my ice, bro. You know, my ice is sitting here on deck. My ice is sitting here on deck. You know, I cannot do a live without my ice. But Puff Daddy, that's that Scorpio. That's that scorpion. The same way she sat back all them years. Not to mind you, the partner sign for Taurus is Scorpio. Okay, hurry up and show your face soon. Okay, I will. My next one. I surely will. But the only reason why I'm doing it like this, just in case somebody wants to talk. If somebody want to talk, if they want to talk about the situation with Jaguar White, and if somebody have something to say, I can drop the link and they can come in. And then while my face still not showing, because I got my little scarf on. But my next one, I promise you, bro. Yeah, so this is highly weird. They all had to go through some doors. They had to go through some doors, honey. They had to go through some doors. They had to go through some doors, which is not such good doors. But she's not telling things that she had to do now. Then she said Beyonce is older than what she is. We all know Beyonce was not born in 81. We already know that. Beyonce is 4 years older than what she says she is. Beyonce is not 39, she's about 43. Beyonce is in her 40s. So no, Jay-Z did not get her underage. See, that what y'all get. He messed with her when she was no, Beyonce wasn't underage. That's just what they told you. Now my girl Nene Leakes comes for Wendy Williams. Because Wendy Williams, you know, she got diarrhea of the mouth. So when she came for Nene Leakes caught her old cokehead, an old cokehead, and told her basically to mind her business. But how do you guys feel about Christopher Williams minding his business? Now he's all over the blogs, the YouTube. This man has been through a lot. How do you feel to be remembered, to come back up in people's lives, to be known as you gave P. Diddy, you went downtown, which the timing is off because Christopher Williams was not down with Bad Boys. He was down with Uptown, and he already was singing through Uptown. And then now, what about Aquarius artists? Aquarius artists. Okay, let's talk about Aquarius artists. I'm gonna tell you Aquarius artists. Let me get them for you. Is that the fact that I don't believe her? Okay. Aquarius artists is more about the future. They're the ones, I did it my way. They're more like the Bob Marleys, like the Alicia Keys. You know, The Weeknd, Justin Timberlake, like D'Angelo. Their music is about something. It's about a statement. It's about something you should think about. You know, they're more like bringing people together through their music. It's like they tackle life and they put it into words. They see what's going on, and they see what's going on around them. What can they say to impact people? Like Bob Marley is a perfect example. Alicia Keys too, but Bob Marley is a perfect example. If you notice, all of their songs have something to say. It makes you really want to think. It makes you sit back and think about it's like all the things that we want to say, they say. Yes, they talk about issues like one love, one heart is always something about bringing bringing a group of people together so we can have these conversations. Like they bring their intellect because they're very intellectual people. They bring their intellect, what they see, they bring the intellect to the words, and they make you see what's going on around you, like what's going on. That's Aquarian artists. They are very, very good artists. Like I say, D'Angelo also very good. Dr. Dre, with the way he does his music is about like what's going on. J. Cole is another one. I love J. Cole's first album, the album that we don't hear about. But his topics are very, very in the future. It's about issues. Like how can we make a change? See, that's what Aquarius is about. How do we take what's going on now and how do we make a change about it? So they're very good. That's just a few of Aquarius artists. There's plenty of good Aquarius. When I do my Aquarius video, then we talk more about Aquarius. But that's them more as an artist. And Aquarius have a goal. They have a goal. They have to reach their goal, and they're going to do it out of the box. They're not in nobody's box. They do it out of the box. Just like if you see Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys is never doing the normal. Never does the normal. They does stuff out of the box. If you see somebody, you know who I am? No, I don't know who you are. Let me know who you are. Just relax. I like that name, Just Relax Now. But going against them Capricorns, honey, like I know my Tauruses don't play. I know my Tauruses got a lot to say. Oh, living your best life. Oh my good, this is you number 3. Oh, this is you number 3. Hello, my lovely sister. Yeah, but Aquarius is special people. Look at that. I didn't even know I was talking about my sister, but they are very special people. Like I said, they go orientated. And they think outside the box. Whatever you're not thinking about, they're thinking about it and they're bringing it to your attention. Like attention. I know, right? We Calvin got to get beat. Where's the belt? Who got the belt? We ain't beat Calvin in a long time. Now, well, my girl, I still can't believe my girl went in on Tevin Campbell. Poor Tevin Campbell minding his business. People minding their business. They done moved on from this entertainment world. They couldn't take it. It wasn't for them. They making their money doing a song here and there. You know, they trying to get on tours, and she just throwing them right up under the bus. Tevin Campbell just got out of everybody trying to figure out what he is and who he is and all of that. Because you forgot he got the voice of an angel, honey. Yes, he is overdue. Whoever got a belt emoji, put the belt emoji there. Get the belt out. Get the belt out for Calvin. Where's the belt emoji? Get that belt emoji out. But as we listening to these stories, we have to do our own research. We got to see when did all of this, just know, just he breathe it. Not the way we gonna beat you. Not the way we gonna beat you. But you gotta remember when you hear these stories that come out. Hello, my lovely foot soldier. Hello, my beautiful sister. I always, my show is not a show until you pop up on my show. My day one, all y'all my day ones. Everybody here is my day ones, and I appreciate you guys to the fullest. You know how I feel about you guys. I appreciate all you guys to the fullest. Y'all are my familia. Y'all are my family, and I appreciate you guys. But when you listening to these stories, you have to go back now and fact check. You have to fact check. And then she said she mad at Jenny from the block, and people. All right, I hope I'm back. My thing cut off. You most welcome, Sugar Love. It's been over a year. I've been on a few channels over a year now. Can you guys hear me now? My thing, it just says something went wrong and it shut off and it went back. Thank you. Yeah, like I say to you guys, when you guys hit, I don't care what information that you get. I don't care what information you get. You got to backtrack stories. And as you listening to these stories, sometimes you got to put yourself into these people's shoes. You got to say to yourself how old you are now. Is this is what people really think of you? Do they think of you as your past person, or do they see you as the person you are now? Because yes, your dirt always come on up. Yes, people, we have all done things, but that is a good way to show you how life works. Jaguar is a talented artist. I can't take that from her. But so were the rest of them. So was the rest of them. And you had a lot of different women that came out in that time. She was so good at what she did, but she still didn't know how to fit in. Maybe because she didn't want to play the games, but you did play the game. You did play the game for a while, and you said out your own mouth, they said to you, if you want to keep your spot, you better shut up. So now she thinks she's ending these people's career. You're not. You're not. Even when you have Faith and Little Kim, they had to get over the Biggie madness because they all got older. Yes, in the 90s, Biggie was with the both of them, but we're in 2020 now. They had to get over that. And then to say that you mad at how they did Malik, but how did you do Malik? Why wasn't you in his family Rolodex? Why did y'all, why was y'all not close as you say that you were? Why was you worrying about if somebody else celebrated him? No, you are his friend. You were supposed to celebrate him. You was to shine light on him. You supposed to shine that light so bright on him, the rest of them would have had to take notice. The rest of them would have had to take notice. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Yes, this gossip sound good. Yes, your truth sound good. Yes, a lot of people write books and they tell their stories. But to throw all these innocent people into it is crazy. Christopher Williams minding his business. Now he back on every feed saying that he went downtown on Puffy. Come on now. You after Puffy. You not after Christopher Williams. And she's going to go, oh, well, maybe he should. No. Tevin Campbell was minding his business. How did he get thrown in this? And that lady who probably did work and gave you that information, you said you kept it to yourself. But now you're told. You're telling everything that was told to you. You even went as far to say that Kim Porter had something on Puff Daddy and Andre Harrell, and she had a tape, and she was not. I would not agree with that. At the end of the day, that is still her son's father. Then she wants to say that Puffy needs to say how good of a dad I'll Be Sure was. Now, according to I'll Be Sure, he had an unsung or something. He was not. He was cheating on her. Did Puffy grab in and get his woman? Yes, the heck Puffy did. Just Puffy did, honey. Puffy sure enough saw I'll Be Sure slip up, and yes, he did slide his way right up in there. And yes, he did. But Al B was already doing him. Remember, Al B had the name. Puff Daddy did not have the name. Al B Sure was the star. People keep acting like Puff Daddy, he was the man he wasn't the man when a lot of this took place. He wasn't the man until he got Bad Boy. All he did was dress in style and sit in but he wasn't running nothing. When he got out of control, Andre Harrell fired him like, yo, you going a little bit too overboard. You going a little bit too overboard here. I got to fire you. And say he's a great dad. We don't know that. His own son said no, he was not a good dad. And he didn't speak to his dad. And he said Puffy is his dad. Puffy been there for everything. But like I said, if everybody know how Puffy get down. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when that scorpion sting you, honey? What you gonna do? And somebody so talented as Jaguar, because I forgot who she was. I had to go check the chick out, right? I had to check the chick out. That's so bad that it took a bunch of negative, which she knew, a bunch of negative stuff from her to make us say, remember who she was. So that go to show you, them women you talked about, how do they still stand strong? How do they keep their lives together? One thing I will say, oh yes, honey, I agree with that. Puffy does care for his kids. There's no getting around that one. And if Puffy and Mary J formed a brother sistership, and then even when I seen a clip when they was doing the MTV Unplugged, and then Puff was talking about Jaguar White. He was like, yeah, regardless of what song, she got different faces. That girl can sing. Then they asked about Mary. He was like, she's the queen. She's the queen. He said, when I was nobody, she got on a song with me. When I was a nobody. There's a lot of people that say a lot of good. I mean, you're gonna hear good and bad about everybody. Let's not get this twisted. Let's not get this twisted. You're gonna hear a lot of good things and bad things about everybody. You're dealing with if you're dealing with the Capricorn, you better have some status. You better have some status, or you better have some potential, and they like you, so they want to help you. But if you ain't got no potential or no status, Mary's a typical Capricorn female to the T. To the T. There is no goo goo gaga key. No, not with no Capricorn women, honey. No. Same way you know all about being a bull. Yes, honey. When y'all speak, y'all speak. I can't take that away from y'all Tauruses. When y'all got something to say, y'all got something to say. You smell what the Rock is cooking with your candy asses? They got something to say. And yes, they will hurt your feelings, because that's what Tauruses do when they want to do it. But you still going against somebody that you can't break. Mary J ain't got to say nothing. And then people like Jill Scott, she said, well, she mad at Jill Scott because Jill Scott was messing with her men. It wasn't all of y'all messing with men. How many boyfriends that you had? Does she mess with all your men? I could see she said she messed with somebody y'all loved. Tauruses are April 20/21st, I think, to May 20th. To May 20th. Let me read you off some famous Taurus. Some famous Taurus. Y'all messing me up. I'm supposed to do this for my Taurus time, but let's do some famous Taurus. And you're going to notice that Tauruses got things to say. Where you at, boo? Okay. We got James Brown. We got Master P. You know, when he say something, he got something to say. We got Chris Brown. We got Busta Rhymes. We got Janet Jackson. We got Cher, and you know Cher always got something to say. We got Albert Pacino. We got Travis Scott. We got my man Stevie Wonder. We got my man Luther Vandross. We got Adele, George Clooney, Jerry Steinfeld. Them is just some of the Tauruses. And they're very artsy people because they share Venus with Libra. So they're very artsy, musical people. But when they got something to say, they got something to say. Louis Farrakhan, Malcolm X, them are all famous Tauruses. And you notice they got something to say. They got something to say. And they say it's boldly. They don't mince their words, and they say it, honey. They slow the anger. But when they get there and they got to preach or they got something to say, you're gonna listen. You're gonna listen. Okay, yeah, so you gonna listen. But like I said, a lot of these people was minding their business, getting over that entertainment trauma. They was getting over that entertainment trauma, and here she go, putting them right back in that trauma. I mean, I just thought that was like, I'm like, what did Christopher Williams do to you? My man was still dreaming. He said, don't wake him, he dreaming. She done woke him up out that dream, honey. Now he got to justify his face all over. And not to mind you, these people have kids. These people all have kids, and they're not little kids anymore. So these kids, they kids got to hear this. Some of them are grandparents now. Their grandparents got to hear this. Some of their mothers are still living. Their mothers have to hear this. The same way she said Mary J. Blige got a train ran on her by the men from Death Row. Now you got to backtrack and find out who she talking about. Every time you open these Pandora boxes, now you got to get the full story. So now these guys at Death Row is probably like, well, damn. Because people are going to want to find out who are these men at Death Row who ran this train on Mary. They're going to want to find out. Now their names is in this. This is why sometimes you got to leave things in God's hands. I know she done had enough. She had enough. She had enough. And once you start that rabbit hole, you're going to be coming up with a lot of more names, honey. A lot of more names. Teddy Riley was part of that. That Teddy Riley name is going to come on up, all up in there. He was around. Guy was around. Albie Shaw was minding his business. That his name is going to come on up. Heavy D name is going to come on up. So what was Heavy D doing while all this was? Heavy D's the number 2 man. What was he doing while Puff was sitting up there doing what he was doing? Hello? Now people gonna want to dig. I mean, if you done it, you done it. Sure can't these days. If you done it, you done it. But my thing is, you were still part of the problem. You said they told you to be quiet, but you lose your position. But what position did she have? See, you could be the best artist you can be. But see, Mary sings with her pain. When Mary sings, she moved that whole entire body. You can call her what you want to call. I think she could sing very well. She holds them notes very well. She is the queen of R&B. But if she told somebody that is between, you better take her off or I'm leaving, that person chose Mary. That is not Mary's fault. That is not Mary's fault. That's because they felt Mary was more of a breadwinner for them. No, you cannot have privacy no more for so you got that right. That's just like anytime you give somebody an ultimatum, they're gonna pick the person or whatever is good for them. That's whatever is good for them. She set her own self up. That's crazy. Like I said, that's her truth. I can't take her truth from her. but to throw innocent people under the bus. And Puffy living the life, honey. He living a life. You almost $1 billion too late. You $1 billion too late. And if they got to go through puppy doors to get on, that's their choice. Because she says, yeah, he did all that to Puffy, and look where his career went. Puffy didn't have Christopher Williams. She broke. She said she claims she still make her money, but what she didn't know how to do, she didn't know how to find her identity. I think that's what happened. She didn't know how to find her identity and carve her own way. She think, yeah, you was good and you keep claiming you were good. And from what I see, you are good. But something she was lacking. She can sing, she get them notes out, but something that Erica had that people wanted to see. Something Jill Scott. Now, and it's crazy how everybody turned against Jill Scott. And then she's gonna say Jill Scott. Everybody saying Jill Scott broke her swagger. But they was in the same neo soul. They got the same type of voice pattern. What did you want Jill Scott to do? Y'all got the same type of voice, sing the same type of way, and y'all both into neo soul. And Jill just found a way to navigate herself. See, it wasn't just, when you're in this business, you're not just an artist. It has to be something else about you. It got to be something else about you. Just like when Eve came up into the Rough Riders, it had to be something about Eve that made her different from the other women that was out there. Evie had to create her own persona because she had other women that was out there. At one time we had, even when it was the battle between like Little Kim and Foxy Brown kept doing her. Little Kim kept doing her. It wasn't like if somebody says it's gonna be Foxy Brown or you. People chose Kim. Foxy didn't stop doing Foxy. Foxy was wicked. She was wicked with that pen. Foxy held her own. Same way they say Nicki Minaj. Nicki, yeah, she didn't know herself. See, something that she did not do that they did. I don't know if it was good things or bad things, but it's Erica. She can hit higher notes. Erica could really sing, but she kind of, yes, she did, honey. But Erica chose not. She sung the way she wanted to sing. She put her persona on. So we trying to see one thing we never did, and this is what they trying to do to us. They trying to make it seem like we so stupid that we think that if you came out of the neo soul group that you're perfect. We as people never thought that. We never thought they was holier than thou. We know when you're in that music business, there is no holier than thou. We never thought Jill Scott was nobody's angel. We already know Erykah Badu was nobody's angel. We also had like Vivian Green. We had Heather Huntley. We had a lot of different people that came through that neo soul. And then Tariq, what I thought, I mean, With the Roots, they got over because they was a live band. They had a live band, and Amir played drums for some of everybody. He made sure that a lot of people he played with wasn't always with the Roots, but he let his drums speak for itself. So people like, oh, my childhood is gone. Nobody asked you to worship them. They just gave a different type of music. But you had to find a way to make something about you to where they can't deny you. Tyrese was good too. Tyrese got a heck of a voice on him. But you had to find something about you that made people can't resist you. See, Mary already knew. She sung with that pain. If you look into my life and see what I see, I'm going down, and she just want to be happy. So she had to be going through something, and she said, I want to be happy. But she still got on that microphone and sung her pain out. She knew what worked for her. She knew what worked for her. Same way we like Cardi B or we don't like Cardi B. Cardi B found something that worked for her. So she was supposed to get back in the lab, Jaguar White, and said, okay, what do I need to do? I already know I'm an artist. They don't respect artists like that. What do I need to do? Or there's some doors maybe she did not want to go through. So she's mad that she didn't go through them doors. But the higher you get, the different doors you have to go through. Maybe she should have lit some incense up. I don't know if she did or she didn't. But maybe she should have lit some incense up like Erykah Badu. Maybe she should have did more poetry like Jill Scott. Jill Scott did a lot of poetry. Her live is like the bomb. Yes, they're very similar. They are very similar. The question is, if both of them are similar, now she didn't sleep with all the guys in the industry. She said she slept with men that were the men that she was sleeping with, which means these are nobodies. If both of you guys are similar, why was Jill Scott picked? So you have to see where you fit in all of this. You have to see. But all I can say is you have this. I like to talk about it, not too much. I'm not downing her. I'm not downing what she's saying. That's her truth. But you have to see what part you played in this. You have to see what part did you play in this. The way all the things she said about herself, I'm like, well, damn, how you mad at the next person? Yeah, because you're telling your truth and what you used to do and how messed up you were and being bi and having men and women at the same time and being married. And then on top of that, you wasn't a woman of then she says she wanted to get out of the relationship, but then the ex-husband would blackmail her and say, well, if you do get out, I'm going to tell that you like women and men. Or if you do get out, I'm going to tell this. So she stayed with him longer, and to the point that she didn't care what he said. Everybody did not have your ex-husband. Your ex-husband helped you ruin your career. You know, what she's doing now and coming back out is beautiful. You know, people like to gossip so much, but nobody's going backwards. Nobody's doing a timestamp. Nobody's not taking what she's saying and saying, well, how can this have happened? Because Christopher Williams wasn't with such and such. And then we already know that she started out as a video girl, Kim Porter. She was in the video. She was also in Albie Show video that Puff was in. But she started out as a video girl. She moved her way up into modeling and doing other things. And then she got with Puffy. Her and Puffy remained really close. And people, every time somebody, you know, they cross over and they don't, you know, that they expired, the first thing they said is, oh, because they was getting ready to write a book or they was getting ready to do this. We don't know that. We don't know if she had a book ready. She said that Kim Porter was in the bathroom and saw Puppy doing some strange things. We don't know that. She said she heard that, but a lot of these things she said she heard. So all this is hearsay. There's no receipts because now she got to bring up these people names. And a lot of these people names, again, you are almost $1 billion too late talking about Puffy. Almost $1 billion too late. $1 billion too late. But we as a people, it's a shame that we all was young. We all did things. And people don't see you for what you are. It's a shame that all these people is jumping up on. It's like they're praising her, but jumping on. That's like, I'm like 40, 50 years old and I'm beating up my 20-year-old. It's done. It's done. You know, what about, I could see she would have came out with the accomplishments that they have now and said, hey, I was a part of that. Hey, don't forget about me. Remember, I was around. And, you know, now she could include herself in their success. It was a lot of other different ways to do it. But to say that she's coming after these people, they don't really care. And people like, well, there's nobody answering her because she's telling the truth. Who cares? Who cares? All of y'all moved on, lost contact, everybody doing them. There is no loyalty. None of y'all wasn't like really close friends that after all this was something happened that you lost contact with everybody. What took place? What took place? What took place that, see, that's why old friends get mad when you cut them off because you grow and then they don't grow. So they get mad when you cut them off, not knowing that I grew as a person, you did not. So all you got on me is old dirt. Instead of evaluating with me, moving up with me, growing with me, maturing with me. So we gotta ask ourselves these questions. You know, when do we sit up there and say, well, hey, okay, what you gonna do now? I know she's getting a lot of interviews. Everybody want her, everybody want to hear this gossip. But how far are we willing to go with the gossip? And I would like to know, I meant to bring up too, how do you guys feel about the Breonna Taylor case? How do you feel about the officers getting off? Y'all want to talk about that now? Y'all want to talk about that mañana? But we definitely have to get into that. Because my man, Charles Broccoli, I know I said his name wrong, but I'm going to call him Broccoli for now. Charles Broccoli. My man said that, oh, he feels sorry for her, but he shot at a cop. Hello, he was in his bed, somebody kicking your door, you shot at somebody you thought that was an intruder. You can't pin them killing that girl. Sometimes you have to take a hit. It was a lot of bad things said about the entertainers you mentioned way back then. They took the hit and kept it moving. Yeah, baby. Yeah, foot soldier. They tapped it. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of strange things that go on in Hollywood. That is to be known. And you're gonna do some strange things to move up that ladder. And she had to do a lot of things too, honey. She had to do a lot of things. But how do you guys feel about Breonna Taylor and how did that case go? How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about the protesting? Is protesting really getting us somewhere? We want to discuss that one tomorrow. We're going to discuss that tomorrow. I just didn't like the fact that she threw Christopher Williams and she threw Tevin Campbell under the bus. And then when you watch Jaguar Wright, I'm telling you, if you watch it, you're like, damn, this girl is good. She's really talented. Then you got to ask yourself, what didn't she do to still be here? To be in the light. To be in the light. You got to ask yourself, what didn't you do? You said you still was making your money. First, you said they only paid you $500. Then you said you was a ghostwriter. Then you said you gave songs away. And you're about your business. You're saying a lot of things, confusing things to me. They are confused. How do you give a song away? She said she heard a lot of people singing her songs on the radio. You are supposed to get paid for that. You're supposed to have gotten your writing credits. You supposed to got your writing credits on that, baby. You came in at the game young, and you don't like a lot of stuff that went down, which is understandable. But they came into the game young also, and they're still here. I'm not defending if Mary J. Girl. If she was a mean girl back then, I'm not defending that. But I know Mary has grown. She has growth over the years. My girl got her champagne out. Then she claimed the awards that Mary won, Puffy paid for. Did y'all hear that one? All the awards that she won, Puffy paid for. If you didn't like the fact that Mary did you dirty, then you were supposed to outsing Mary, outperform Mary, and make them wish they picked you. You were supposed to make them wish that they picked you, but you were young. You were young. The same way they were young. But Mary had more value. You can call her talentless all you want, but she still had more value than you. So what you're saying is true. You didn't sing with that pain. She sung with her heart, but she didn't sing with that pain. That's honey snitching. She done, honey, she is blowing this up. But I just like to see things on both sides of the token. Because that's how you grow as a person. When you see what somebody's saying and you look at it from both sides of the token, that that helps you grow too. And it helps you say, well, you know what? If I'm young and I'm in this business, these are some of the things I may have to go through. You know, she's talked about a lot of touring and things that happened on the touring. Then she said how she was tired, she sung all night, she did, you know, a lot of interviews, she was tired, and then she said her and Common was on supposed to be writing. She fell asleep with her clothes on. First of all, again, listen carefully. If you were so tired, then you were too tired to write. You had no business in that man's hotel room. Period. You just said you were tired. You got in his bed with all of your clothes on because you were tired. So how much writing was you guys supposed to do? Then you said the man woke you up with his thing in your face. You can't tell me I'm so tired. I didn't feel like doing nothing. But you said you went for a writing session. So you was tired or you wanted to write. If you wanted to write, you would have stayed up, got your writing done, and left. But you went in that man's hotel room to write, but you was too tired, so you went to bed. So why didn't you just go to your own room? She lacks the charisma. Most of these ladies had a certain energy about them. It's more than just, yes, that's what I'm saying. Exactly, foot soldier. That's why you my sister. That's why you my sister. You are 120% right. You, like I said, she say things. She answered. So just in case you ask her a question, she already answered the question. But you didn't answer my question. You said you were tired when you got in that man's bed and all you wanted to do was sleep. But then again, y'all went to rape. And y'all know for a fact, Erica Badu don't give two itch. She don't give nothing about nothing you saying. They might they might put out some more albums and stuff. I mean, you coming back to take your crown back. That same energy, you should have stayed in the game with. You should have stayed in the game with it. But you were young. You were young. You seen too much when you were young. You didn't know how to navigate. You didn't know how to navigate through this business to stay on top. She said she was touring over Europe and she was still making that money. No, because you didn't know how to do it in the United States. You should have put that same energy into the United States. What business? Exactly. Exactly. But so what business you want to go into and we all after the same spot? What business you gonna go into where you're not gonna find a mean girl? You're not gonna find a mean girl. Yeah, she missed me with that one too. But again, people sit up there and they threw him under the bus. Nobody first they was like, what was she doing in this bed? So she had an answer for it. Then the answer was that she went to write. No, you can't cover that up. You said you were tired. So you should have went in your own bed. Then you said you woke up, he was hitting you in your face. First of all, she says, okay, she says she sleep hard. She sleeps really hard. And you didn't feel that man on you? You didn't feel that man on you? And then on top of that, you were sleeping with the homies. You admitted that you were sleeping with the homies. You slept with Talib. You were married. You slept with Talib. Slept with his friend Juju. And then you slept with somebody else. You didn't think Common thought that it was his turn? You didn't think that from what they told him about you. See, you for same way you talk, they talk too. You didn't think they say, hey, this is what she do, but as you look at the pictures, she were young. And now that she's older, it's eating her up. Maybe that's why she's telling her truth. Because a lot of things that she did is eating her up. So she's going to throw people under the bus. It's eating you up, sister. That you allowed yourself to be played by these men, but they all grown now. They married now. They happy now. They got houses now. They booked. They are booked. You're gonna hear more because she need more. She needs to start getting paid for what she's saying. And then you got the interviewers that's interviewing her. They're just listening to what she's saying. They are not asking her real questions. They're too busy listening and they figure, oh, my channel is gonna blow. I was like Star Monroe, he had 5,000 people in his room listening to her. Not one time, a couple of times he's was like, well, instead of saying, okay, yeah, Mary did all these things, but hey, Mary grew from it. Mary grows from everything. But they're not saying, well, if you was tired, then why did you go to his room? Was y'all sharing a room? Was y'all in the same room? She didn't. What's up with the questions? And nobody said, when she said that about Christopher Williams, nobody didn't say, well, hey, Puff Daddy wasn't the man at Uptown. So why was Christopher Williams why did Christopher Williams go downtown on Diddy? Why? He wasn't the man, and he already had his contract. He already had music out. Can you explain this to me a little bit more? And the lady who told you, that's hearsay. You don't know for that to be true. You have no receipts on that because that's hearsay. This is what somebody told you. I come to the conclusion that a lot of stuff she said they did and did more and still didn't get the recognition they did. A lot of stuff she said they did and she did more and still didn't get the recognition. She didn't get the recognition because she didn't know how to make herself shine. She did not know how to make herself shine. She thought it was just going to be off pure talent. I mean, you're not a Whitney Houston. And then she tried to go in on my girl Whitney Houston. And talking about Bobby Whitney was doing this and Whitney was doing that. Whitney got her own story that she cannot tell. Whitney has her own story that she cannot tell. Everybody is writing books about her, but Whitney cannot tell all the things that happened to her herself. So people is going by somebody else's perception. Somebody else's perception or somebody else's story does not make it your reality. It does not make it your, like right about now. This is my perception. It doesn't make it a reality. This is just what I see. And a lot of these bloggers, all they give you is their perception. Then it doesn't make it somebody else's reality. So to keep on constantly going in on my girl Whitney Houston, she cannot tell her side of the story. So you would think that when you speak upon her, you would try to be as loving as possible. Even though Robin's supposed to have been her ex and she claimed that was her lover, but we never heard Whitney's side of the story. We heard Whitney she's not here no more to say, hey, this is what happened to me. This is why I got on drugs. This is who introduced me to drugs. Because I had to sing and they wanted me to stay up. These are the people who fed me with the drugs. This is how I became an addict. Not saying that they didn't do anything that would be unrealistic of me. Yeah, none of us is saying that for such. We know these things took place 30 years ago, 25 years ago. But to go in on Whitney and say that it wasn't Bobby and she was doing all these drugs, I'm like, when people, as even with Andre Harrell, he's not here to tell his own story. You're never going to get their side of it. So you speak upon it as loving as possible. Tell your story as loving as possible. Even with the people on drugs, tell the story as loving as possible. Like people always saying, oh, Puff has something to do with Biggie. And if y'all really thought that to be true, how did that man make $1 billion? So y'all didn't care about Biggie? Y'all still made him $1 billion? People talk about how shady Jay-Z was, but y'all still let that man make $1 billion? At least if Dame Dash got something to say about Jay-Z, Jay-Z can say something right back. If he want to acknowledge it, he can acknowledge it. If he does not, he does not. But they both are still here. They both started that from nothing. Even though Jay-Z, he know how to, even Kanye West said, he knows how to move in a room of mistakes. Oh my God, enough for her. She can only get paid for this mess that she's creating. Well, she's creating a lot of it. But I'm speaking upon when you speak upon somebody, when they're not here anymore, they cannot tell their side of the story. They're no longer here. So certain things should be left alone. Like I said, my girl Whitney, she can't tell her own story. She can't tell all the tragedies she went through. She can't tell you what made her get on drugs. She cannot tell. She can't say who gave it to her. She can't say when she got it. She can't say when she got hooked. She can't say these things. She can't. Christopher Williams, I don't know how he got to get out of this one. He got to get out of this one. But, you know, like I said, we have to be more careful with these stories. We got to do our own research. She's lacking keeping her mouth shut. What's her problem? Because Whitney kept her. See, one thing about Whitney, she's a woman about hers. She's a woman. And when she had her downfall, she ate it. Every downfall Whitney had, she like, listen, I did this to myself. I'm not going to throw nobody. She threw nobody under the bus. She looked the way she looked, and that's just what it was. I give her props for that. She could have said, these things happened to me. These people did this to me. These people. No, she knows she got herself into this business. Things happen in this business. And I did it to myself. So I'm going to go out a woman. Nobody can never say Whitney said nothing. She went out with honor. She ain't throw nobody under the bus. She ain't bring up nobody else's name. She didn't give no excuses for why she did them drugs. She didn't give no. She just, yes, I did it. What? She didn't throw important people names down the gutter. So sometimes, you know, you gotta put on your big girl panties and say, hey, this is what I signed up for. I may not like it. I may not like it. I may not like all these things that you got to do, but I did it. I did it. If this is what they said you had to get into to sing, well, I've got to make a choice. Do I want to do this or do I don't want to do this? Whitney chose to do it. And so she didn't blame nobody but herself. She never even blamed Bobby neither. She said Bobby done it with her, but she never really blamed Bobby. She knew what she was getting herself into. She knew she went through the wrong doors, but she ate it. She ate it. But tomorrow, I want to talk about Brianna. I want to talk about the state of affairs that we are going through. The state I want to talk about, for soldiers, if you don't know about the Cancer Balad, please check out the videos on Cancer Balad so you could be up to date when we talk about it tomorrow. Where's my girl at? Where's my girl? Because we're getting ready to end this. Just relax now. Please get familiar with when we talk about Breonna Taylor tomorrow, how that case went down, and all the other things that is going on. And if there's any more celebrity gossip that's going on, we will be talking about it tomorrow. So please try to catch up on the daily news that's going on so we can talk about it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. But the main purpose of this is poor Christopher Williams, poor Tevin Campbell, minding their business and thrown right under the bus, and everybody else. So you guys have a good night. It's always good to see you. I will check you guys out tomorrow. Thank you for being part of this love train, baby. You make it do what it do. Peace.